whining about hot in here and stay away from the window. No way.
This thing went right on my toe, right when you landed, it went boom, right on my crying. I couldn't exactly tell where this thing was going. Under you. And then you landed on it, it slammed on my foot.
Or you could go with Landon to Mitchell Tech.
I am not going to Mitchell Tech. Mitchell Tech can get me anywhere I want to go.
Mitchell Tech is whoa, yes, boy.
I mean, we have like USB things so
Your fingers okay?
It is not mine. Get over it.
Just me.
You do not know.
Turn the heater off.
You don't know. You know, get all that hair. Cool, you know.
Hi, Mr. Snyder. Hey. I watched his old video baby.
Mr. Snyder, did you write that? It's like a sweaty thing.
Yeah, that'd be me. I would be doing things like that.
My face is like.
Mary, I think you may marry a woman.
Move your feet. Move your feet. Move your feet. Move your back.
She married a woman.
Look at how nice it's written. Mr. Snyder just wrote Justin Bieber hard on the board.
That was funny.
I'm pretty sure that's Mr. Snyder.
He looks like the Justin Bieber type.
Somebody wants to fail.
He looks the type that would have a daughter. That's
I'm already failing anyway.
There you go. Actually, my youngest child is 25.
Whoa.
I'm like, man, so he's like 25 and a half.
That makes you
Wait, his kid? You're 15? So you're like
25 plus 25 is
25.
50.
Pretty much.
Whoa!
He is.
That's how old my dad is.
Wait,
What's
he's
today?
only 45?
17?
Tuesday.
About 3 weeks, I'll be 50.
Thank you.
50?
You're only 45.
Holy
He's 49.
I'm my parents' child. My mom's
Love baby
53.
faces.
How many kids do you have?
Yeah, we got one.
Just one? Two?
I was 11 pounds.
Are they all boys?
Guys, bell rang.
You had no girls?
That sucks for you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That sucks
You
for
never got to be
Schneider.
protective.
Sorry, Bo.
No touchy.
Touching it. My mom in the car always like, don't touch your sister, like, not touching her, not touching her.
No, ready?
Brent?
That's what my brother do. Bite my finger.
You know your job's
You're my bro.
Brent we know about.
Kaylee, we never know.
Do we know about Kaylee?
No, we never do. All we know is she's gone half the time.
English project.
Oh my god. Your brain.
Really?
That makes it feel harder.
Yeah, it's like
I should have pulled that excuse.
ooh, yes. It's like the new style.
Perfect.
I like being sick because then I can just go lay in my bed, turn on my fan, and sleep all day.
I can't. I have to work at home. When I was sick those 2
Who's
days,
first?
I was outside putting in fence in the rain.
Come on
So you were
down.
sick?
Oh, yeah.
No, I was sick. I have spots where I can show you that I can
Oh, wait, we have to
Yeah, I
open
don't
our
wanna see
room.
it.
You must do it, Amanda.
Actually, no, we're not going to
Oh, too late.
We don't have a USB thing.
Hey, I got one. You can borrow.
Kim Border and I go first.
This thing right here is supposed to plug into your machine.
Me and Justine are going second.
Emily, you guys
Do you want me to put it on mine?
No, I think Amanda and Gordon want to go first.
And I'm fairly sure it's gonna work just fine.
Oops.
It won't.
I got it.
It won't.
Yep, it will. I can see it on Emily's.
Hey, can we wait until Brent's
I
here?
can
Because
see
he's
the
an
right-
important part of this group.
It's right next to where you got your USB.
Mr. Schneider.
Can I go grab my laptop?
Yeah, because he's part of our
You
group.
forgot your
Brent left.
basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So, no.
Are you going first?
Do you want him to be with us? Grab my laptop.
We should probably try.
Mr. Schneider, can I go grab my laptop? I forgot it in the gym. Because I was trying to get out of there because a little kid was jumping on
On your
me.
card, does
Ava got on top of me.
Can I?
you don't have to put a metal bar there, unlike all your other.
Mr. Schneider, did you want us to make a Word document of the things that we changed?
Yep.
Okay.
And to write about the things you changed and why.
Allie.
Freshman,
Sign.
You guys can go
he's
first.
over.
We're not going
No,
to the
he's
Better. Yeah.
What's that thing in the background?
Piece of paper.
What does it say?
You need to
Why
turn
do we
in
care?
a presentation. You need to turn in
Each person?
what you modified and why, and how it made your stuff better. Right? Word document? We said that the other day. Is that everything? Well, you should be able to hand those two in right now.
Do we need a,
When we're done with this, you need to get rubrics from everybody. You need to put them all together into one file, and you need to send me that one file. Now, you remember that you're opening up rubrics right now, right? Okay, and you are going to put whose name on the bottom of the rubric?
mine?
Your name goes on the tab. And if you're smart, you're gonna figure out how many of them you're gonna need. You're gonna put your name on the tab, and then you're gonna copy it after that. That's a good question. How many groups are there?
Like 5, 6?
I didn't count them. Can it be more than 7?
I think it was only 5.
Just stay there.
I would bet lots of money on 5 or 6. I would not bet on 7.
Suicide hotline again.
I got a question.
What?
Okay, do we need to hand in a presentation for my or just one person? There's 6 groups.
That's a good question. If you are not handing in a presentation, you need to send me an email. You need to go submit anyway, and in the comments under your submission,
Say somebody.
it needs to tell me who put yours in there. So if you're in a group with Justine and she turned it in, you go in, you hit submit, you don't attach a file, but you do comment that Justine turned ours in.
Seniors interested in talking to the USD rep, please come down to the DDN room.
Hey, I'm going to play. I've already been recruited by USD.
Well, doesn't that tell you everything you need to know?
Introduction and the 3200.
I'm gonna go.
Well, you had that whole scholarship.
I heard this thing is not going away. It's called
All $10.
No, I hit that clears.
Oh,
That clears all tab.
I don't want.
When you go to a you know,
man, teachers come off. Didn't you see there's a couple people golfing pro?
Hey, what do we have to turn in and say that they turned it in? The modify thing?
you still have to turn in your Word document, your modified thing.
Okay.
So turn that in, but tell me who's got your presentation.
In the comments of the modified? Okay.
So everybody's got a document to turn in, no matter what.
Well,
And one person from each group has 2.
I don't know my username.
So, on the comment,
Oh, right click on the tab. Down where it says Emily. Over copy. Click in the box that says make a copy. And then you know, and now you have 2. And if you shift click on both
Mr.
of them,
Schneider, it's turning.
hold shift, click on the other one. Now do the right
Why
click.
does it always point on me?
And over copy.
No, it doesn't. I look ugly on it. Mr. Schneider, it turned.
And then okie
Not
dokie.
following you.
Now you have 4.
And the Bluetooth thing is red.
The Bluetooth thing is red.
Do me, buddy.
It doesn't like it.
It doesn't like you.
Better.
This is some
Okay, wait.
stuff.
Now, who's in the group
This
with
is like
Sierra?
$100 on the line.
I thought we were
Nobody.
Let's go.
She's by herself.
Let's go.
Brock, that's only $100.
Yeah.
No.
We don't
go
They said that Amanda wanted to go first.
You
Can I?
already killed
I wanna
almost
hold
10
that. I
minutes.
wanna hold that. I wanna hold that. Hey, Caleb, do you wanna see that?
And
How did you use this?
that thing needs to get a hold of that too.
Oh wait, we don't
Don't go
need.
running over in the corner. You need to stay here so that you can bring it over so that the camera can get your PowerPoint as well.
Hey.
Then we're gonna need to turn Mrs. Schneider so that she can see
Mr. Snowden.
PowerPoint and
Whoa.
See Jesse, see the mark.
What does this do?
Can we just hang it up here and on there?
Got some mouth.
And I call him Picton. I definitely screwed something up in my shoulder when Macy tripped me. You screwed something up in Caleb's shoulder.
I like teasing the robot.
Why your dogs for something?
It's making the robot
I
mad.
should stop now.
Other shoulder.
Oh, I was gonna give you a sponge.
What?
What do we do?
What is that?
What? Wow. I don't know.
Okay.
it'll go away in a minute.
There's my name.
Remember not to work in Excel Online. Excel Online is bad.
Like me.
You're not bad unless you're a raccoon riding on the back of an alligator bad.
Is that
Bro, I do that.
Can we have your flag? The B flag. The BS flag.
I didn't make
Oh, am I supposed to
Does everybody have a rubric open?
Oh, we're supposed to do that. Not us.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Alright. Then you guys can probably get going.
Okay, so this is our texting and driving PowerPoint by Sarah, Lakia, and Erica.
Do we have to hold that if we're talking?
Probably should be somewhere near you, yes.
So scrub this.
That camera's gonna move. See?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the camera needs to go back to that every once in a while so that that gets captured.
Okay.
You'll figure it out.
Okay, texting vocabulary. Speed. Speed is the rate at which someone or something is able to move or operate. Acceleration. Acceleration is the increase in the rate or speeding in something.
Deceleration. Deceleration causes the object to slow down. Stop, to stop or end something. Distance while driving. Distance at texting. At 20 miles per hour, you travel 41,120, I don't know how to read that.
Just say 41.
41.2 meters. I don't know, let's just round up the number. At 40 miles per hour, you travel 82.3 meters. At 55 miles per hour, you travel 113.1 meters. Distance while driving, continues. Texting. At 60 miles per hour, you travel 133.6 meters. At 75 miles per hour, you travel 154.2 meters. At 60 miles per hour, you travel 164.2 meters. Okay, this is our math for, is it pointing this way? This is our math for the distance while texting. So what we did is we took the different speeds like 20, 40, 80, 65, 75, and 55. And it's 4.6 seconds to send or receive a text. And then you have to cancel the labels, and 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. And then 20 miles per 1 hour, and then 63,360 inches in 1 mile, and then 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. Like we had to convert it because it said feet and we needed meters or something, seconds and we needed meters. And then so like we just did different speeds for each one, and then we got our answers over there. You get it? Questions? No?
Okay. Our stopping distances for a small car, and we use the Subaru Impreza WRX. At 20 miles per hour, it takes you 12.7 meters. 40 miles per hour, it's 25.4 meters. At 55 miles per hour, it's 34.9 meters. At 65, it's 41.3 meters. 75, it's 47.6 meters, and at 80 miles per hour, it's 50.8.
He doesn't read it because it's like not, it's too bright.
I might be able to fix that.
And here's our work for the stopping distances. We took 60 miles per hour over 125 feet because that was the rate it was originally going.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, and then we took 20 miles, or the miles per hour over X feet because that's what we were trying to find. And then that's how we found our work.
Yeah, then we had to convert it because it was in like feet, and
We had to convert it to meters.
yeah, we had to convert it to meters. And this is all for the small car, and we just have like different speeds for each one. Stopping distance for an XUV Jeep, 20 miles per hour is 15.24 meters, 40 miles per hour is 30.48 meters, 55 miles per hour is 41.93 meters, 65 miles per hour is 41.53 meters, 75 miles per hour is 57.15 meters, 80 miles per hour is 60.96 meters. And then here's, like, we did the same thing for the Jeep. We took different miles per hour, and then it went 150 feet, so we just like cross multiplied and then divided and found X. And then we had to change it to meters, so we converted it. But yeah, this is for a mid-sized Jeep, and we just did it for all the different speeds. Okay, stopping distances for a Chevy Silverado. For 20 miles per hour, it was 32.1 meters. 40 miles per hour was 64.2 meters. 55 miles per hour was 88.3 meters. 65 miles per hour was 104.3 meters. 75 miles per hour was 120.4 meters. And 80 miles per hour was 128.4 meters. Okay, and then this is like the same work we did. We just needed to show it. So this one went 316 feet. So we just cross multiplied and then divided by 60 and found X, and then converted it all. And these are all of our speeds.
Stopping distances for an SUV Chevy Suburban. at 20 miles per hour, it takes 14.7 meters to stop. At 40 miles per hour, it takes 29.4 meters. 55 is 40.5 meters. 65 is 47.9 meters. 75 is 55.2 meters, and 80 is 59 meters. Here is our work. Like, it's basically the same for everything,
So we have to explain it if we know.
except the stopping distances are always different because some of them take longer than others.
Stopping distance for a four-door luxury car, Lexus LS.
That was the car we chose.
Yeah, that was the car we chose. 20 miles per hour is 4.9 meters. 40 miles per hour is 9.8 meters. 55 miles per hour is 13.5 meters. 75 miles per hour is 16 meters. 75 miles per hour is 18.4 meters. 80 miles is 19.7 meters. And then here's our work for the luxury cars. It went 49 feet, and then for each speed it was a different answer. Reaction times. So reaction times with no texting activity were typically between 1 and 2 seconds. And then reaction times while texting, however, were at least 3 to 4 seconds. Took them that long. Okay, talk to text. Talk to text is only accurate if you talk into the phone with a clear voice and no background noises, but like it's still not safe to use, so it's just the same as texting except you're talking into it, but you still have your eyes off the road, so.
I guess here are resources we used. Do you need to say them?
Oh, we have a poster.
Yeah,
Yeah, our graph. Okay.
show her, show them.
Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Okay.
See that?
4.6 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. At 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to cover enough of a football field.
So 55 miles per hour.
Hey, there's Mr. Schneider.
You're going to the football field. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's questions.
But then,
Did you guys have like graphs?
this was like our graph. We just did the football field for the 4.6 seconds.
We didn't do it on our PowerPoint, but we just did it on paper. Okay, Emily.
So part of the rubric includes standard deviation. What's that?
Sierra's laugh.
What is standard deviation? Something we did not include.
I didn't even see that on the rubric. Where's that at?
Graph standard deviation average stopping distances of drivers. It's right before cite all sources.
Okay, Megan.
Does your age like affect your stopping distance?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a graph that I found, but I didn't put it on there. And it was like actually like if you're 65 or something like that, your stopping distance or your reaction time is lower. And when in like between 45 and 30, it's high. And like teens our age have a better reaction time than any other age.
Wouldn't you mean like the reaction time's higher for someone that's 65?
Yeah.
Lower?
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I don't know what I said, but
I think she said lower between 25 and 65.
I know it's like
45,
45, 30 or something.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay.
Purpose. I may have, hang on a second, there's a question. On the crow. Here, I'm gonna put you on speaker. You're on speaker, the computer dies. Do you have a question?
No,
Okay. Alright. Then I'll see you in a little bit. So, we pointed out the standard deviation. Thank you. Is there any other problems?
Do you have any questions, Mr. Schneider?
I could probably come up with several if I wasn't doing this right now. The camera, is it okay? Does it need to be about where Eric is at? So that it's going that way a little more.
Yeah, I think it was just like, it was too bright and I couldn't pick up the words on the screen.
Okay. So,
But would Amanda be too tall with it, like?
if we put Amanda on the other side, maybe not.
Okay.
Oh, there's Mary on her phone, calling me.
That's just weird. Kaylee just posted something to Edmodo.
Yep.
That's
All right.
creepy.
This is going to reconnect, I think. If I can ever get my mouse back. So, we're gonna give that a second. And you're gonna finish filling out your rubric. And I'm gonna be right back.
I sent you guys yours. If you have questions.
This towards the beginning of the plan, our second driving is close to actually beat the lighting light. You better.
So do you know how many you're gonna work with me then?
Come to acceleration on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's when we play catch. That's what we have when we have time.
Something is wrong with my brakes.
You can fix it.
I can't.
Yeah, you can.
It's not letting me. It's all the way turned up. Just look, it is. It's just like
Just got brighter than the future, man.
They look like a tool for There's one to wear an arm sleeve over a long sleeve shirt.
Thank you.
Lessons are gone.
I know that arm sleeves if you like play that turf or something.
I wouldn't either. I don't play Swivl in the world.
Reckon you're still my best friend.
If you're wearing a long t-shirt, it doesn't allow for compression.
No. I had a long sleeve shirt. I had a little bit of green as a color.
why did
Nope,
Billy
nope,
post
we're
that?
playing
I don't know, it's creepy.
Now, is Kaylee chatting? Is that what we're up to there?
I don't know what she just posted, she just posted a picture of you. That's weird, someone should get her in school.
Probably not thinking.
What do we think about the size of the text, people?
So what, their text?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's just the color.
Alright, and then we're gonna need to talk about what happened on line 26.
Huh?
What? You guys probably should have stayed up there.
Graphs, standard deviation, average stopping distances, 10 points. Do they get a 0 for that because they left out the standard deviation?
That's what you said,
Yes.
yeah. That's what you said. You said if they don't have it all, then it's 0. You can't
Right.
do anything between.
But, here's the deal. I put those three things together, but I should have put points on each one.
Oh, come on.
Is the standard deviation gonna be as much work as the average stopping distance?
That was really annoying. No, not to you.
Is it?
No.
Which one of those three is gonna be the hardest?
Stopping distances of drivers, probably.
Stopping distances probably have more math in it,
Yeah.
so we should make that one worth,
4?
if we made that one 4 and the other two worth 3 apiece? Does that sound like the right thing to do to get to 10?
Yep.
So, what I'm doing is I'm putting parentheses behind the average stopping distances of drivers, and I put a 4 inside of it. And then behind the others, I'll put a 3 in parentheses. And then you can give either 3, or 6, or 7, or 10. Does that make sense? You have to give them 3 for a graph or 0 for a graph. Did they have enough for graphs?
Yeah.
Did they do a good job on their graphs? So if you think they did a good job, then give them 3 for a graph. They skipped the standard deviation, so take those away. Did they do a good job on the average stopping distances of drivers?
Yeah.
Did they have average stopping
Yeah.
distances of drivers?
I don't think they had average
I
stopping
think
distances
they
of
just had
drivers.
their cars.
They had,
No, they had-
they had reaction
They had the
times.
first thing for like
But
going
did they have the reaction
55.
time, the stopping distances, and then
It's all of them added together.
added together?
Wow, this is
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably
You don't
not.
know stopping.
So I'm thinking on line 26, we should all have a 3. Am I right about that? Or am I wrong about that? Okay. Ladies, do you know what it is that we're talking about there?
Yes, what, somebody gave us a 0 for no phone lines.
Weird formulas.
Yeah.
So I have to run away today as well, although this is just a Tuesday thing, this has nothing to do with the other issue, but I work with a math teacher out in Reynoldsburg after their school day, and
What kind of formulas do you have?
Okay,
I got a question.
so did we find something else?
Really, really important question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the presentations we get, do we put them in the?
only on the Burke Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
And then, whoa,
The presentations you get, you put together.
and then the
Don't even
presentations we
I don't
do,
even
yeah, we had like one that's
Then I have to.
speed over distance and then equals speed 2 over distance. What the heck? My mom's like, use hand sanitizer a lot this week so you don't get sick. Also drink a lot of water on Wednesday. Oh, that's funny.
Alright. So I am making a new one.
So there's 3 points, 4 points.
Since they didn't have that, then
My one that's done, okay, you're gonna run into trouble with which ones have stuff on them and which ones don't. When I get one done, I color the tab.
How do you color the tab?
Right click, tab color. And now I have one red tab and the rest are white.
What's the red tab mean?
That one's done. Stop, don't go here. Make sense?
No.
You don't have to,
Are we going next Sunday?
that's up to you guys. You should get up there and get going there. And I'm going to turn the volume on, and I'm gonna assume that the other 2 teachers are done chatting back and forth. So, I let our computer die like a moron. I hate trying to do stuff. Alright, ladies, I am turning the volume back up.
Thank you.
Sorry, the computer died on the first one. That's,
It was after though, so that was good.
yeah. That's a fail.
So everybody has to sign this movie.
Cheers.
Alright.
Okay. Glenn, would you prefer, like, I've got a couple of comments on the first one, would you prefer it comes at the end because it could influence the others?
We just had a chat about them.
Okay,
Our kids gave feedback, I gave feedback, you might as well.
lots of data with no connection.
Ooh, yes.
The so what was missing, I heard. Yeah,
Lots of data, no connections. You got all these numbers, you got spreadsheets and formulas, and you got all this math. What is that math showing me?
and when you throw numbers at a non-math person, they'll get lost in the numbers and they'll forget what they're trying to figure out or what they're supposed to figure out, or they can't figure it out, so then they just kind of give up.
I did that.
Gross water.
Yeah, it is.
Does that make sense?
No.
How many of you are not math people? Math is hard. How many of you can look at all of those numbers and all that stuff in the spreadsheet and then figure out what the heck is going on and what do those numbers actually mean without somebody pointing it out for you?
Well, we had on the side, like, this was miles per hour, this was this car, this was.
Yes, but what are you doing that for? What does this figure out and how does that help you in your project?
Right. Summarize the data for me, let me look at the data, but don't just read the data. And make those connections. Like, it's like what I was talking about last week. I think it was last week. Whenever I saw you guys last, it's the so what. Like, okay, so reaction times are this, and stopping distances are that, but so what? How does that connect together? Why do we care? And to be clear, like, it might make sense to you, like, you've collected all this really helpful data, and you see the connections, but you need to, like, spell it out for your audience. I didn't see the presentation, sorry, I just heard so what was missing, so I wanted to. It'll be online. Anyway, I assume that the Swivl worked.
Yeah, the swivel's there. I don't know for sure if we're gonna get, what's on the overhead picked up or not.
Okay.
You guys tell me. Emily? Look at
When the
the,
computer that we're looking at the screen
is
with,
that better?
can
It
you
has like a
tip it down
glare.
just a little bit?
There's a big glare right there.
Does it glare less this way or less the other way?
Less this way.
Okay, so we'll leave it on then. The next thing I wanna try though, and I can't do this and do that.
Just type in ED.
Does that show better?
Yeah.
If I get it square, it looks better. So I'm gonna bring this up forward, and we're just gonna make everybody hang out over there where you're at.
Tip the computer down just a little bit too.
There's nothing there.
Does that work?
It should be like in the middle. Make it stop
good.
right there. Just make it stop right there.
BB 3088. Was that embarrassing? No. Your rubric.
You just some bugs.
Okay, nothing there. Insert.
Yeah, that should work.
Now we're good?
Yeah.
The computer that, well, yeah, well, the Swivl will probably be in our way now too, but that's okay, we'll make it work.
Nope, I can.
No, that's okay, we'll make it work. Oh, that's much better. We were wonky before, we were like,
You were on a desk before, and you're on a cart now. All right. Now we should be good to go.
Slim, now that you're sitting, do you see what we're seeing?
No.
There's a
We're
big-
seeing, we don't get to see Emily.
Oh.
Hi. Here.
Hi, Emily. There you go, she can fix it, she knows what we're talking about. There we go. I think that'll be better.
There.
And the iPad has you?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Hey, we pay for these expensive seats,
Yeah.
so.
What do you pay?
She has to pay with her time.
Alright. The Truth About Texting and Driving by Emily, Justine, and Kaylee.
Haley's not here.
She's somewhere. Time it takes to read or send a text. According to PolitiFact 2015, you take your eyes off the road an average of 4.6 seconds when you are sending or reading a text. Distance traveled while sending or reading a text. The formula used to find distance traveled is distance equals speed times time. The speeds we used were 32.19 kilometers per hour, which is 20 miles an hour, 64.37 kilometers per hour, which is 40 miles per hour, and 88.51 kilometers per hour, which is 55 miles per hour. And the speeds used again is 65 miles per hour is 104.61 kilometers per hour. 75 miles per hour, 120.7 kilometers per hour. 80 miles, 128.75 kilometers per hour. And the math we used to find kilometers per hour was you took however fast you're going, like 20 miles an hour, you put the 20 miles over the 1 hour, and then you cancel out the miles by putting the 1 mile underneath and put however many feet are in 1 mile, and however many inches are in 1 foot, however many centimeters are in 1 inch, however many meters are in, or however many, meters in 100 centimeters. And then 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And so then you times the top out and you get that, and times the bottom out and you get that. And so you divide that by that to get the kilometers per hour. You understand?
Kaylee's here on the phone.
Oh.
You can talk to her if you need to.
Hi, Kaylee.
Math done to find distance traveled. We had our time, which is 4.6 seconds over 1. And this one's for the 64.37 kilometers per hour, which was the, I think, 40 miles an hour. And then you take it times however many seconds are in an hour with the hour over the seconds. And take that times, however many kilometers.
What slide are we on?
Huh?
What slide are we on?
This is how we're trying to find distance traveled.
Sorry, my mom interrupted.
And so then you take the kilometers per hour and times that to cancel out the hour, and then you times this across and get that over that, which equals the kilometers. And then we actually took it times 1,000 meters to get however many meters it was instead. Distance traveled while sending or reading a text at 32.19 kilometers per hour. It's about 41.13 meters. At 64.37 kilometers per hour, about 82.25 meters. At 81.51 kilometers per hour, about 113.1 meters.
Ethan and Lexi Farnell, please come to the office. Ethan and Lexi. Rainey Hanson, please come to the office.
Distance traveled while reading or sending a text continued. At 104.61 kilometers per hour, it's about 133.66 meters. At 120.7 kilometers per hour, it's about 154.23 meters. And at 128.75 kilometers per hour, it's about 164.51 meters. This is the small car stopping distances.
and the distance it takes to stop, and the speed in kilometers. The higher you go, the faster you go, the longer it takes to stop. So you can see it's 32.19, it takes 12.7 meters, 64.37, it takes 25.4, 88.51, about 35, 104.61, about 41, and 127.7, about 48, and then 128.75 is about 51. So yeah, the faster you go, the longer it takes you to stop. Pickup stopping distances. Again, speed in kilometers per hour, distance it takes to stop in meters. And again, the faster you go, the longer it takes you to stop. And at 32.19, it's about 14. At 64.37, it's about 27. At 88.51, it's about 37. And at 104.61, it's about 44. At 120.7, it's about 51. And at 128.75, it's 54. SDB stopping distances, the same speeds per kilometer and the meters is stopping. The faster you go, the harder it takes to stop. The harder it is to stop. Same difference. 32.19, it takes about 13 meters to stop. 64 kilometers takes about 26 meters to stop. 89 kilometers takes about 35 meters to stop. 105 kilometers takes about 42 meters to stop. And 121 meters takes about 48 meters to stop. 129 kilometers takes about 51 meters to stop. XUV stopping distances. Again, we have our speeds in kilometers per hour and distance it takes to stop in meters. And at 32 kilometers per hour, it's about 13 meters. 64 kilometers per hour, it's about 26 meters. 88 kilometers per hour, it's about 36 meters. And 105-ish kilometers per hour, it's about 43. And then 120 kilometers per hour, it takes about 49 meters. And then 128 kilometers per hour, it takes about 52 meters to stop. Again, the faster you go, the longer it takes you to stop. Four-door luxury car stopping distances. Again, the faster you go, the harder it is to stop, the longer it is to stop. 32 kilometers takes about 13 meters to stop. 64 kilometers takes about 25 minutes to stop, 25 meters to stop. 89 kilometers takes about 35 meters to stop. 105 kilometers takes about 41 meters to stop. 121 kilometers takes about 48 meters to stop. 129 kilometers takes about 51 meters to stop. The math we did to find it. So you take this is for the 32.19 kilometers per hour, the 20 miles an hour. So we had a website that told us the stopping distances for whatever vehicle we were using at 60 miles an hour. So you take that and equal it to the 20 mile an hour over x, and x is the distance it takes to stop at 20 miles an hour. And you cross multiply, so 60x is equal to 2,500, and then you divide that out to get x, which is in feet. So you have to take the feet over 1 and times it by however many meters are in 1 foot, and you cancel out the feet, and then you get the meters.
12.7 meters. Oh, math explanation. In this equation, you are trying to find x, which is the distance it takes to brake at the speed that is over x. Yeah, I kind of wrote this. I still have to go this. I'll read this. Sure. When x is found, it is in feet, but we needed it to be in meters. To find that, you use a conversion factor that has the number of meters in 1 foot over 1 foot.
Reaction times. For people ages 4 to 13, it's about 1.75 time to react, which is pretty quick, and yet, as you can see, they just keep going up and up and up and up, and the older you get, the slower your reaction times are. And so until you get to like 60, and then I guess you get a little faster. Old people, they're scared. And so yeah, you just keep going up, and you can see that there's a variance here that this is like the average, and it can go anywhere to way up here past 0.2 seconds to way down here to 0.15 seconds. So it varies, but that's like the average.
Okay. Reaction times. People 14 to 24 years old have faster reaction times than people older than 25 years old.
Reaction times affecting stopping distances. The more time it takes you to react, the more distance you actually travel before you brake, causing the distance needed to stop to be bigger. So once you see something and you react, you've already traveled quite a bit of ways, and then you brake, and it takes you that time to stop.
Standard deviation. The standard deviation is a measure of how spread out numbers are. It is used to show how far off a number is from the average.
Inertia. Inertia is what keeps objects still when they are still, and what keeps them moving when they are moving. This affects stopping distances because of the vehicle's want to continue moving. So it's going, and inertia makes it not want to stop. So it wants to keep going, but it can't because you're breaking it.
Mass. Mass is the amount of matter there is in something. The more mass an object has, the more it weighs. The more an object weighs, the more kinetic energy it has while moving, which leads to a longer stopping distance.
Kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. Kinetic energy is calculated using mass and speed. So with two vehicles going the same speed, the one with the greater mass has the most kinetic energy. So the more energy it has, the longer it will take to stop.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Momentum.
They're bad, they won't come out. Momentum is the amount of motion that an object has. Momentum is calculated by taking the mass of an object multiplied by the object's velocity.
Velocity. Velocity refers to the rate at which an object changes its position. So velocity is calculated by taking time divided by position multiplied by distance divided by time. So velocity is basically how much you move in an amount of time. And it doesn't, it includes when you're driving, stopping, and then going and turning and stuff like that. It's, yeah.
Oh, speed. Speed refers to how fast an object is moving or the rate at which an object covers distance. Speed is calculated by taking distance divided by time.
Talk to text. When activated and you speak, your words are captured, digitized, and compressed into a WAV file that is sent somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know where. I'm not that kind of person.
Talk to text. That it is processed using speed recognition software, converted to text, and then sent back to your device via the internet, whereupon they appear on your screen.
The words appear on your screen. Yeah, it's just a lot of work. Talk to text. To increase talk to text accuracy, you have to speak clearly, avoid background noise, and speak in phrases or sentences. So basically, if you're like in a loud car, it's not going to help much. So might as well just not use it and not text.
Call people. What can happen while texting and driving? You are 23 times more likely to be in a motor vehicle crash if you are texting. 3,328 people are killed every year because of texting and driving.
Real life situation. An 18-year-old driving a pickup at 55 miles per hour and sending a text message. An animal enters the road ahead of them.
Assuming they have just started the text, they will take 4.6 seconds to even look up at the road, during which they will travel about 113 meters.
When they do look up, it takes about 0.175 seconds to react, during which they will travel about 4 meters. Once they do react and press the brake, it takes about 37 meters to come to a stop.
These distances added together give you an approximate distance it would take an 18-year-old to stop after an animal has entered the road while they were sending a text.
The approximate stopping distances involving these variables that we have shown is 154 meters. So if that animal is within 154 meters when it enters the road and it doesn't move out of the way, you're going to hit it. And then
These are our references.
we had a lot. I think it's like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14. A wide range of things.
And they're in APA format.
Yes, for some reason it didn't do it on my first reference slide, and then it did it.
This is a perfect.
Any questions?
Yes.
Any at all?
We're open.
Kia,
Why are you such a perfectionist?
because my dad made me this way. It's his fault.
Well, that's good.
Anyone else? Mr. S. Mr. Slim.
Back up 2 slides.
Back up to here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, you guys are in that age group.
Yes, we are.
Assuming that you see things as quickly as you should see them, you can stop in 154 meters.
Yeah.
How far do your headlights shine?
Isn't it like 200 yards?
200 meters.
Are you sure?
Yes, I saw that on a
It's
Marshall.
not 200 yards.
Is that the new headlights or the old headlights?
The new headlights.
So if you have a car with the old headlights,
You're in trouble.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
that's gonna happen even if you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna go about 154 with the old headlights anyway.
Yeah, because they
So-
go.
If there's a deer standing in the road, and you come over a hill and it's less than 154 meters away,
But if
You're gonna barely be able to slow down enough to have
well, you're not gonna
minimum
get
damage.
stopped. You
that's
might
why you
be
need a
able to slow
grill
down.
guard. It's the ultimate
when-
deer repellent.
That's when you want your insurance. It's called a thunderstruck.
Mrs. Keller, any
I highly
questions?
recommend one.
Yeah, I really like how you guys use the so what at the end. This is a really great example of how you can tie all the information together and say, okay, can you go one more slide ahead, actually?
One more slide ahead.
The approximate stopping distance involving all those variables is 154. And then, oh, I guess that is the last slide.
Yeah.
And so, do you die?
Depends.
Is that like you hit the animal, right?
Yes.
Is that what?
If you like make a mistake and like try to swerve and like go into the ditch or something, there's a chance.
Somebody in your school hit a deer last weekend.
Brittany.
Is Brittany okay?
Yeah, she's alive, but her car is
alive.
Her car is
not. Her car is not.
Brittany is not well. Brittany thinks she might have got a concussion.
Yeah, she said her head hurts.
Brittany chose to keep her steering wheel straight and not go eat the ditch or
That's
drive in the
smart
other
decision.
lane. Is that the right thing to do?
Yeah, never swerve for a deer.
Unless you're going really slow already.
Yes.
If you can get down to 20 miles an hour
You're in control.
and
My
you've
brother
already
made
looked
that
and there's no
mistake.
cars coming at you and that kind of thing, but if you're freaking and you're, oh my God, don't turn.
My brother made that
Let's strobe
mistake.
light it and then
He hit
hit
a
it and
tree
then take it.
instead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't want to hit a tree. Deer are way better than trees or oncoming vehicles.
It's amazing he only left
Every
one
time
scratch.
deer are better, okay? How far is 154 meters?
No, very, very far.
Football field and a half is going to be round numbers, yes. Can you get more specific than that?
Nope.
150. No, a little less than 150 yards.
It's going to be about 170.
Really? Oh yeah, because yeah, meters. Is
100 meters is 100 yards of football field plus the 10 yards of end zone.
Yeah.
So the other team kicks off and you catch it on the goal line. The goal post at the other end is 100 meters away.
Yeah. So 170 yards. So almost.
Any more questions?
I might be rounding up a little to get to 170.
Close enough. Okay.
Did you guys have stopping distances on there?
Yeah.
Those were our charts.
Yes.
I mean, distance well traveled, I mean.
The horizontal
maybe that's the
tables.
beginning, I dismissed it, but distance well traveled, like on Main Street and then like that, did you have work for that?
Yeah, that's these are our stopping distances.
Sure.
Okay, okay.
And then our distance traveled, those were these, like, that's the 20 miles an hour, that's the 40 miles an hour, 55, and then.
Okay. But did you like show your work, like, on the Excel? Or
They showed one of those, yeah. It was a little
It was
skinny
before.
thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Before
was
that?
before here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just, like, all you have to do is enter in a different speed.
Every time.
Yeah. So, like, this was the 40 miles an hour, and so you just have to enter in the different kilometers per hour.
Anything else? Going once, going twice, souls are done.
Goodbye.
You can tell Justine loves presentations.
Yeah.
Was this one good? Was it better than good?
Better be.
No.
Amazing.
How about this? Was the PowerPoint better than good?
Yes.
Well, like keeping our attention, like
Yes.
it kind of like
Yes.
it was.
I saw that.
Not trying to be like rude or anything, but
It's just a lot of numbers and.
It is. So what did Mrs. Schneider and Mrs. Kellert say about that?
So what? Well, we said we're like so the longer or the faster you're going,
Mhm.
the longer it takes you to stop.
Does everybody agree that they did a good job on the so what? I think I do.
That was like our last few slides.
They did a pretty fair job of that. Have you done a save as?
Huh? What?
Have you done a save as recently?
Save as what?
I just saved it as a name.
You're gonna wanna go do a save here fairly soon. You don't wanna lose all your work. I heard you. I see you. I'm saving yes. What do you do?
I was just gonna ask.
You have a problem?
Saving as.
No, okay, like, on our presentation, Mr. Schneider told us, like, not to add any extra info that would, like,
Right.
but what is, like, the so what thing, is that extra? Because they had it and then we did it and then we
Is
put
it-
it in points because of it.
or is extra info stuff about, you really shouldn't drive because, and you really shouldn't text and drive because,
Well, like in theirs, they had, how many people die each year, is that extra?
is that extra?
I think so.
What does the class think? What does everybody think? Stuff about how many people die extra?
Included
Well, what's
on
with the
the
texting and driving?
criteria, and like, it's
No, it
okay
wasn't.
to have some of that to like capture our information back in, but like, we were talking to Mrs. Schneider about it, and she said that it's, you wanna
She
keep
said,
your,
you just wanna like divert their attention, you just
Yeah.
want to, so you don't have to.
Now, was that one little thing to try and bring everybody's attention back and then keep it going? Or was it stuff that doesn't really need to be there?
Sorry.
Okay? That's a very good point. And these guys walked on that line, didn't they?
Walked on what line?
And we need to decide if they went over it.
What line?
You should not put extra junk in your presentation.
We tried not to.
Presentations can be boring, right? How many of you,
Boring.
how many of you were writing with the blue pencil during that presentation?
What?
Okay, now, the reason why is, did they read all of those charts to you?
Yes.
Can you read the charts without words faster than they can read them with words? Yes. Your brain can process these tables and charts and pick up the headings and go through and say, oh, yep, okay. Did they all start with 13 point something? Or 12 point something that rounded to 13 at 20 miles an hour? Did anybody so far say anything about the stopping distance of the little car compared to the Suburban?
No, I did when I was talking about mass.
You did when you were talking about mass.
I said the greater it weighs.
Stopping distance?
What?
You had those tables that all went this
Yeah.
way. Did you point out the top and the bottom and why? Did you say why? Isn't why kind of important?
I said because of mass.
Is, when? Once?
Yeah, when I was defining mass.
When you were defining mass, but not when the tables were up here. Did you put all the tables in order from the shortest distances to the longest distances, or the other way around?
No.
Were they,
Put them in order the way
like,
they
this
were.
one's long, this one's short, this one's long, this one's short? Okay, that's my brain, and my brain's not 100% normal. I can tell you that right now.
No, these guys got into this like there was.
What's normal?
Who's next? Sure. Do you guys have those done? And saved?
Justine,
Yes.
what
Be quick.
is your email?
JW3849.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes, ma'am.
I actually have to run out to Reynoldsburg. I was telling your lovely wife about the reasoning for my flakiness lately, and she can fill you in on that. It
Not
has
to
to do
worry.
with just being spread a little bit thin. So I'm going to take off, but I can connect with you tomorrow in Armor or before then, if
Sure.
you'd like.
That's fine.
Okay.
You didn't like
Okay,
the
good
kilometers
luck,
per hour,
ninth graders,
that's
and the
how
rest
we're
of your
supposed to do
presentations.
it.
I'll catch up with you next time.
And if you're ready before noon tomorrow and you want to connect, just shoot us a text or a COTAP,
Yeah.
and we'll fire it up.
That sounds great. Let me look at noon. Or,
Hey, Board took off points for kilometers per hour.
yeah, that should work.
That's how we're supposed to have it.
There you go.
Meters.
All right.
He grew up in the USA.
Gordon, why? Did
It's
you
like-
write a why?
He
No,
said,
yeah.
he's like, I don't like the
I
kilometers.
didn't like it. But
Yeah.
why? Because I can't follow it as quickly as I could. Mine.
That-
Not like the kilometers. and
That
stuff.
is a reason that makes sense.
Wow.
How many of you in this room understand kilometers per hour?
No, it's the right
It's
keys.
hard, like.
Or meters per second?
Mr. Schneider, when we go up to Canada, you gotta sit there and you gotta like read the little numbers on your odometer, like, alright, gotta go 80 kilometers per hour.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I say 47 kilometers per hour, does that mean anything to you?
30 miles per hour.
If it doesn't mean anything to you, then I should either explain it or not use it.
Now use it.
And if I explain it, can I use math only to explain it, or do I have to, Justine, holy rude.
Women, calm down.
If I explain it, can I just use math, or do I have to use something that you know and relate it to that?
Familiar
Something
stuff.
we know.
Your brain.
You should always tie everything into something that you already know. So you, as the instructor for the moment, up here in front of the class, talking about stuff, you're the expert, you should be telling us things that we know, that we can relate these things we don't know to. And you can handle that. Thing's not on.
Mr. Schreiber, my cell's not loaded.
It's
This
29
thing's not-
miles
Oh,
per
no,
hour.
we're wrong. See that little crack?
29.2.
It was twice that big.
You know, if you step on that.
And now, after that gets to computer one, it's gonna connect and you guys have to go stand around.
I'll stand on this side.
Jesse, you didn't send us a rubric.
What?
Yep, we're squeezing through the outside. Oh, wait till-
Nice.
Okay, we had Texting While Driving by me and Amanda.
Okay, accelerate, of a vehicle or other physical objects beginning to move more quickly. Deceleration, a vehicle or of a vehicle, machine, or process reduce speed slowly down.
More terms, we had momentum. In classic machines, linear momentum or translation momentum is a product of the mass and velocity of an object.
Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to any change in its state of motion, including changes to its speed and direction or the state of rest. It is the tendency of objects to keep moving in a straight line at constant. Yeah, sure.
More terms, we had mass. In physics, mass is a property of a physical body which determines the strength of its mutual gravitational attraction to other bodies. Its resistance is being accelerated by a force, and the theory of relativity gives the mass energy content of a system. The SI units of mass is the kilogram.
Distance traveled while texting. Main Street, we were going 20 miles per hour equals 27 meters. Okay. Highway through town, 40 miles per hour, 54 meters.
Distance traveled continued speed for 55 miles per hour, we had 78 meters. Through 65 miles per hour, we had 87 meters.
70 miles per hour, or 75, 100 meters, and 80 miles per hour is 107 meters.
Here's our math leaves. Pretty sure we got it all.
Are you gonna explain it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, for like, we had 80 miles an hour. We took that over an hour. We changed it into feet. And that's how many, 528 feet equals 1 mile an hour. Don't get bored, just pay attention. 12 inches equal 1 foot, centimeters. You guys can read that. Then we times the top row times the bottom row. Pick the bottom row, divide by top row, which equals that. We took it times the number of seconds we needed. That's how we got that.
And it's pretty much just changing the first numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, how we found the distance traveled while texting and reading text on roads.
Which you should do.
Distance equals speed times time. Speed equals distance times time. And divide by time. Time equals distance divided by speed. And conversion factors.
Talk to text in different vehicles and stopping distances. The talk to text. This is all the stopping distances here. Small car, we use a Ford Focus. From 90 to 0, took 168 feet. From 60 to 0, took 112 feet. From 45 to 0, took 84 feet. 30 to 0, 56 feet. 22.5 to 0, we had 42 feet. 15 to 0, we had 28 feet. And you guys can probably read those, so I don't have to say them over and over again. The pickup Ford F-250, kind of a mid-sized pickup thing. And the SUV, we had a Cadillac SRX Luxury.
For our XUV, we had whatever that is. I can't say that. And we ended up finding these two vehicles have the same stopping distances pretty much. Yeah, I think so. Wait, was this a different one? No, it's
No,
the same.
it's the same.
And then our four-door luxury car is the 2015 something.
And from what we got, we made it into a graph. And since 90 is a lot faster than our other distances, it's up a lot more. And about the shortest stopping one was a small car, because it's small. Not much weight to stop.
Reaction time for different ages of people. 14-year-olds, 0.46 seconds. 36-year-olds, 0.22 seconds. And then 60-year-olds, 0.22.
Accuracy of the talk to text and effects on drivers. We thought it's basically the same as texting because you kind of proofread it. Sometimes it does not understand you. It might even take longer with the corrections. These are any questions?
For the stopping distances, didn't we still have to do like the Main Street highway through town, 55, 65, 75, and 80?
Does it say that on your rubric?
I was just wondering if,
Yeah, could you go back to your,
because you had different distances.
Yeah.
will you go to your distance traveled while reading a text?
Yeah, we did these.
Yeah, do you have the other ones?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, but, for
Go back to that one with
Cars.
the 6 colors.
with
Yeah,
the multiple
yeah.
colors, didn't you have to do those
Which are-
speeds for the?
to the multiple colors.
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the
That
rainbow.
There's two of them.
Some of them might be
Right.
hard to read, but.
That rainbow now.
Didn't you have to use the
That's
same,
really hard to read.
Yeah.
didn't you have to use,
Uh-oh. That's not good when you take a picture.
Main Street Highway,
What's
55, 65, 75, and 80 speeds? Not
90?
just any random
Yeah.
speeds?
90 to 100 to 0.
Then you have to
But-
do 80.
Why'd you
90
use
what?
90?
Because it's just easier to figure out for us.
90
miles
what?
per hour. We didn't put miles per hour. You
And
guys should
also-
just.
And that's
Be a
what
little
Jesse was
smarter.
asking. Why'd you use 90 and 60 and
It's
22
just
and
a
a half?
lot easier because
Yeah.
we had the 60 miles per hour already, and then we were able to like mix the numbers around to.
So you made proportions and it was just way
Yeah,
easier.
basically.
But Jesse was asking, weren't you supposed to use 80 and 75 and
It
60.
didn't say it,
Ah, yeah.
cause it said on the first one.
Just like
Yes.
for a standard small car, pickup, SUV, XUV, four-door luxury.
Right. So the stopping distances has to be tied into those same speeds. Otherwise, you get all kinds of people doing all kinds of different things. and
So I
you
could
get
do like 1 mile per hour and see what the stuff
Because I saw a couple of these stopping distances, and I thought, oh crap, they have to have something wrong, because those aren't the same numbers that I've already seen twice. So you should all have the same stopping distances, because you're using the same starting speed. But you might have a little different numbers, because you didn't pick the same exact car. If you pick a Ford Focus or a Chevy Impala,
Yeah.
you know, can they both be called a small car? Probably. Are they gonna have a different weight? Yes. Are they gonna have a different stopping distance? Yes. So you're gonna be off a little, but the numbers should be pretty close to the same. And some of these are, having that smallest number be 31, all of the other ones are like 12.8 or something, aren't they?
Yeah, or something like that.
For the slowest speed, rounds up to 13, or down to 13, one or the other. That's where I saw that, because at 31, I thought maybe they got the numbers split. And then you went to the next slide, and I could see that, oh, all those numbers are kind of messed up. And they don't have labels. But, that's minor. I think this slide is probably the biggest problem in the whole thing.
Yeah, 'cause it's hard to
Just
read
the
a bit.
red, the dark red, I cannot read it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that maroonish stuff is a little tough.
You
And
could've
go to
just
the next one,
highlighted
please.
it, is what you could have done.
Next one.
Is a Mahindra a car?
Probably spelled it wrong.
Is it a car?
I think so.
Or is it a 4x4?
I didn't even know.
Look at the numbers. The biggest one is 180, and the lowest one is 30. Go back to the other slide.
It's a car.
Huh, see, I'm repeat.
Okay.
It's a car.
It's a car in India?
Yeah, India.
You know,
So it's a
and
four.
then just
so it's
need
four-
I know Mahindra makes small tractors,
It does.
those little red ones,
Yep.
right?
Tractors. It makes tractors, trucks,
So
cars.
I wondered if it was gonna be a 4x4 instead of a car. That's my biggest problem right there. So, what are we writing for the stopping distances?
terrible.
No, we have to be descriptive, we have to tell them how to fix it in our feedback.
Or make it looks terrible.
What do we
I think you totally nailed it.
Did you tell me?
They can see what everybody else started out for their stopping time or whatever. And then
Can I do the reading?
You don't look happy.
I'm just standing here.
Oh, you may.
I think the whole thing was great, except for this one little part.
Oh.
I think the rest of it was really good. Yo,
Give me cover.
yeah, we're out of here in 4 minutes. So, everybody else needs to save. And then we have 3 coming next time,
Maybe.
but they're gonna be better, cause you got to listen to all the feedback, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to repeat the same errors that everybody else repeated? Yeah,
We're going first now.
okay. I'll forget, but you remind me.
I'll try.
337.
3337.
Alright, and Kaylee still wants a rubric from Erica, Amanda, Borden, Jesse, and Britt.
Yeah, I don't know her email.
But that was at 1:45, so that was like 3 minutes ago, so maybe you did it.
It's 1:45 now.
No, you just can type in like the last letter of their last name and it'll pop up.
Not if they've never sent one to you or you.
146. You're supposed to put them in your address.
Not if they've ever sent one to you.
All right.
Everyone wants me.
Easy. These were pretty good. These were better than what I got last year. Yes. You should be proud of that.
Achievers.
Well, I don't know if I gave you more help than I gave them,
No.
or if you guys are just better at it.
Valid email.
I don't know. One thing I do know. You don't listen very well. Next time we finish these, and they're going to be better. Those of you that already did them, I have rubrics. I don't know, Mrs. Schneider is kind of busy. I don't know if she was filling out rubrics or not. She may just have feedback. She's in another school with other kids and they walk in and ask questions during this time. So it's really hard for her. If she sends you a rubric, great. Stick it in there. Put them all together.
Send it to you.
Don't put it in Edmodo until after you get them all. Mine's still on my computer. I haven't even tried to send it yet. And fix them. If you end up with a 42 on this project because one thing was messed up and that cost you 10 points and that knocked your grade way down.
Fix it.
Holy cow. Fix it. Come talk to me about it. We'll resubmit it and we'll change your grade. Not forever. Not going to change your grade the day before Christmas. On this one. That happens in the first half of November. Okay? In a reasonable amount of time. And if nobody abuses that, we can leave reasonable open. And we don't have to put a number on it.
Jesse. Yeah, Jesse, you didn't send us a rubric. You just sent us rubric.
I don't know where it went, but I sent it. Yeah, no,
That's all it
like
says.
you with the
Rubric
the text
Yeah.
from
message
Jesse
or whatever,
Williams.
I sent it.
Whatever you send, wherever you send it. It's a computer.
You
They
didn't
do
attach. You didn't attach it.
You didn't attach it?
Yeah, you didn't. It's not there. It just says rubric.
I'm pretty sure I
Resend
it.
Well, then just redo it.
Yeah, there's no
I
attachment on
got
here,
it, I don't know what it was.
Redo it then. Okay.
No, that's Sierra's.
Sierra, you
Sierra's
did
got a
write
big
your name
green
on yours.
stamp on it. Yours doesn't.
Are you okay? Look at the one. That's hard.
You're supposed to write it on
You
here.
guys all out for basketball?
It's here.
Wrestling?
Oh, it was that.
Wrestling? Basketball?
Thank you, Sarah,
What
you're
about
the
Rick?
next person.
You're welcome. I give you a
It smells good.
He's like gone.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people with money from the big cities that come out here in the middle of nowhere and pay lots of money.
They don't know how to.
Good time. They don't know.
How to, there's some people, they bring the bid, they don't know how to gut their deer. So